afternoon, everyone. Today, in this big picture thing, we are going to discuss about diaspora. Diaspora, mainly we will be discussing about the role of diaspora in making India self-reliant or Atmanirbhar. We have seen that for the past few years, Indian diaspora has become a very, very important soft power tool of our diplomatic endeavors. We have seen how our President, our Prime Minister, our Minister of External Affairs and various consulates, how they are trying to reconnect with the diaspora. Wherever our Prime Minister is going, wherever our President is going, he is connecting with the people of Indian origin. So why this diaspora is so important and how it is going to help us in making India self-reliant. So before that, we will just briefly discuss what exactly is diaspora, what do we mean by diaspora, and then how this diaspora has spread across the globe. Indian diaspora is one of the largest diasporas in the world. We have around 3.12 crore people spread across the various countries. And then we will talk about knowing about what diaspora is, how it has spread, and then we will come back to the original theme, that is the role of diaspora in Atmanirbhar Bharat. So let me write the topic and then we will discuss about diaspora. Role of diaspora in making India self-reliant or Atmanirbhar. See, diaspora is a term which is vastly used, but what exactly this term means? Diaspora is a term which is derived, which is taken from a Greek word, which means diasperio. Diasperio. It is from a Greek word called diasperio. Diasperio means to sow over. To sow over means to disperse, dispersion, है ना? To disperse, or it is dispersion. So diaspora is the word derived from a Greek word called diasperio, to sow over or dispersion. So if we take the definition of diaspora, diaspora is basically a group of people who have spread from one country and to so many other countries, or the act of spreading in this way is called as diaspora. Initially the term was used for Jews. Jews who have dispersed from Israel. But over the period of time, this diaspora has changed the meaning. Earlier, initially, it was used mainly for the forced dispersion, like Jews. But now, anyone who has some kind of a connect or who can identify with the host, with the home country, with the homeland, but is living outside the home country or the homeland. So it is called as diaspora. In India, when we say diaspora, we include your NRIs, we include people of Indian origin, OCIs, though people of Indian origin or OCIs, PIO, people of Indian origins or OCIs, overseas citizens of India, the terms, these two different categories have been merged together. They have been merged together and now they are called as OCIs, that is overseas citizens of India. In 2015, it has been merged. So diaspora includes your people who are living outside India. They might be the first generation people, or their forefathers might have migrated and they are born outside, but somehow they have some kind of a connect, emotional connect, cultural connect, any kind of connect with the homeland, that is India. So they are considered as the Indian diaspora. We have so many examples of Indian diaspora people who are doing great. The recent one, the very prominent name nowadays is Kamala Harris. Then we have Rishi Sunak, we have Sundar Pichai, we have Swaraj Paul, we have Vivek Murthy, we have Priti Patel. There are so many people who are from the Indian origin. Raghuram Rajan is there. There are so many people who are basically the people of Indian origin, and they have achieved great heights. That's why we are often saying that Indian diaspora has grown in size and stature. Size because we are the largest diaspora, 3.12 crore people, and in stature because many of the Indian origin people are heads of are heading many of the corporates, many of the companies, and they are also becoming the head of the states of the countries. So Indian diaspora has over the period of time has grown in stature as well as size. Now the question is how this spread, diaspora spread has happened. All of a sudden how this diaspora, Indian diaspora has become so big or so large in number. It's not something which has happened in few years. If we see the history of Indian diaspora, India is a very old civilization. So people have been, in the olden times also, people have been traveling for religious purposes, people have been traveling for trade, people have been traveling for adventure. But mainly the diaspora thing, the main flow to the diaspora came with colonialism. Now, what has happened during when we were under the British rule? So, when your forced labors, when we have this forced labors, when abolition of your slavery, abolition of slavery has happened in your Europe, then they needed people to work in their plantation agriculture. And so they started taking the indentured laborers from India. Indentured means some kind of a contract. They have done a contract with the Indians, but those contracts were highly illegal contracts. They were highly unethical contracts. Many of them were not even knowing to which country they are being taken to. But yes, this process of your indentured laborers, it has led to the spread of Indian diaspora. And then when Second World War happened, that time also Britishers, they needed more people to work. So again, India was one destination from where they have taken many people. And then when we became independent, and in 1940s, in 1950s, the most preferred destination for the rich people in India who could afford and who wanted to go for good quality higher education, they used to go to London, they used to go to US. We have seen barrister बनने के लिए they would go to London जाते थे barrister बनने के लिए. So that is something. Oxford, Cambridge, these universities, they attracted the Indian diaspora, Indian people. And then in late 1960s, we have seen that certain immigration laws of USA, immigration laws of Canada, they were more relaxed. And many of the Indian professionals, they started they started adopting these countries as their host countries. They went to these countries and they became their citizens. Like today we see that many people are going to Australia, many people are going to New Zealand, many people from India are going to Canada because the immigration laws are a little bit relaxed there. So similarly, in 1960s, we have seen the immigration laws of USA, Canada, they were a little bit relaxed. And then in 1970s, with the oil boom, we have seen many of the Indians, they have migrated to West Asia. And then 1990s, with the advent of globalization, with the growing of your IT sector, we have seen many of the Indians, they have gone outside for their jobs, they have gone for better opportunities, and still many of the Indians are going abroad for higher studies or for settling down. So this way, right from or mainly from your indentured laborer story, the current time of globalized world, Indians are going abroad and they are also now adopting the citizenship of those countries. So they have become, and some of them are non-resident Indians. They are the citizens of India, but they are staying outside. They prefer staying outside because of the conditions of work there. They are having good opportunities there. So this is how the diaspora has evolved over the period of time. And today we proudly say that we are the largest diaspora in the world. Like we were talking about, like our Prime Minister, our President, our Ministry of External Affairs is a tweet away from the diaspora. Why we are focusing so much on this diaspora? Why this is becoming a very important soft power tool of our diplomacy? So why is diaspora so important? Quickly, in a generic term, we'll just quickly discuss why diaspora is important, and then we'll come directly to the main theme, that is diaspora and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So, why diaspora is important? Because when they go out, they send remittances. They are one of the sources of FDIs. They invest in India. And then they also help in lobbying for certain projects, transfer of technologies. Like we have seen that this civil nuclear deal with USA was possible because of the interest, because of the lot of pressure put by the Indian diaspora in the US side. So we have been able to conclude the civil nuclear deal. So they are a source of remittances. They are also they help in lobbying. They help to understand the ground realities of the countries where they are staying. And at this time of your calamities, at the time of your disasters, we have seen that diaspora come forward for the help. So they also help in developing social capital. And apart from all these things, diaspora, any Indian diaspora is an ambassador of India. They are spreading the culture, they are spreading the ethos, they are spreading the picture of India. Earlier, India was known as the land of snake charmers, but now because of the success of so many business leaders, because of the success of so many politicians in other countries, because of the success of so many artists of Indian origin in the other country, the picture of India has completely changed. These diaspora people, they are spreading the philosophy of India, that we believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the world is a family. So they are the ambassadors of our philosophies, they are the ambassadors of our culture. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means the world is a family. So wherever, like we have diaspora spread across so many countries, and they have been living with in those countries peacefully. They have adopted them as their own home countries. So that shows that we have lot of acceptance for every kind of culture. We are able to mix with people. We believe in getting associated. We are peace-loving people. We are not fighting with the people there. We have not seen that Indians are doing this or that, something wrong. Though the exceptions are small, incidences are there, but we are more adaptable. And the beauty is that across the globe, people are trusting the Indian people. So Indian people are being trusted, how we can say, because now they are electing them as their representatives. We have seen so many MPs in Canada. We have seen so many MPs in UK. We have seen MPs from Indian origin background in New Zealand. We have seen so many legislatures from Indian background in US. So that shows that people have trust, people have faith in the Indian people. That we have not seen, that politically we have not seen that Chinese diaspora is doing great across the globe. Though they might be doing great economically, but not politically. So when the people of the host country are choosing someone who has come from outside and who has adopted and who has become a part of their system, and they are choosing those people to be their representatives, it shows a lot of faith in the Indian culture. So that's why this Indian diaspora, we say that they are the ambassadors of our culture. They are the ambassadors of India. So these are some of the generic, we can say in general, diaspora, why it is important. Now let us come back to the original topic, the role of diaspora in making India self-reliant or Atmanirbhar Bharat. है ना, डायस्पोरा जो है ये आत्मनिर्भर भारत में क्या रोल प्ले करेगा. सो लेट अस टॉक अबाउट इट. Now, before we talk about it, first we need to understand what is this self-reliant India, what do we mean by that, or what is this Atmanirbhar Bharat that our Prime Minister has given a clarion call for India to become Atmanirbhar. So, we should, why we are saying that we should become Atmanirbhar, because at the time of pandemic, we have seen that how difficult it is when we are dependent on other countries. So it is always good to be self-dependent, and we have that potential, and that is why the clarion call for being Atmanirbhar was given by the Prime Minister. Now, what are the main pillars of, what we will do is, we will see the main pillars, what are the main pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat, and then we will try to map it with what role diaspora can play in making India self-reliant. So, if you know about Atmanirbhar Bharat or this Atmanirbhar Bharat mission or self-reliant India mission, the government of India has given 5 pillars to this mission. The 5 pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat, the 5 pillars, one is your economy. Second is your infrastructure. Third pillar it has talked about is, it has talked about our system. Now, what is this our system? Here it means, it is saying that our system, the system which is technology driven, system which is technology driven. Okay? The technology driven system which is going to fulfill the needs, the demands of the 21st century. So that is our system, the system which is technology driven and which is going to fulfill the demands, the needs of the 21st century, not based on the realities of the older centuries. So our system. Fourth is our demographic dividend, and fifth is your demand, how to accelerate the demand. So if you see, these are the main 5 pillars of Atmanirbhar Bharat. One is your to boost the Indian economy. Second is to give a impetus, to give a kind of a boost, bolster the infrastructure of the country. Then technology, इसको बढ़ावा देना है. डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड जो है हमारा, उसको हमको बढ़ाना है, अपना जो डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड है उसको बढ़ाना है. एंड देन फिफ्थ पिलर इज, वी हैव टू गिव मोर, we have to increase the demand and supply जो chain है उसको we have to increase the demand within the country, and we have to increase the demand, domestic demand as well as demand for exports of the Indian goods. So we have to give push to the demand and supply cycle ko we have to make it empowered. So these are the main 5 pillars of your self-reliant India mission or your Atman Bharat mission. Now the question is, what role can Indian diaspora play in this? So let us map one by one. When we say that economy, when it comes to economy, Indian diaspora can play an immense role. Or rather I can say this diasporic dividend. Diasporic, we have lot of diasporic dividend which could be utilized in all the 5 pillars. This diasporic dividend, when it comes to economy, it has lot of role to play. because India is one country which is the highest receiver of remittances in the world. We are getting 13% of the global remittances into the country that is coming to India. Then it is equivalent to almost 3% of our GDP. So this diaspora provides us remittances, FDI, है ना, फॉरेन जो है आपकी डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, दे आर कमिंग थ्रू योर डायस्पोरा. देन दे आर ऑल्सो इन्वेस्टिंग इनटू मेनी ग्रीन फील्ड, ब्राउन फील्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स. They are also coming to India and they are spending foreign currency in India, so that is again a economic boost to India. Then when we talk about diaspora and economy, see, why we are focusing on this, because the diaspora people, they understand India, they understand the ground realities of India, they understand the systems of India, they understand the working culture of India. So they would not be very hesitant to invest in India rather in comparison to non-Indians. So they are quite familiar with the Indian way of working. So we are quite hopeful that these people can bring a lot of economic value to make India Atmanirbhar or make India self-reliant. So now let us take the next pillar, that is your infrastructure. Diaspora can help to develop various infrastructures in the country. Infrastructure could be your economic infrastructure. It can play a big role in economic infrastructure. It can play a big role in social infrastructure. It can play a big role in development of political infrastructure in the country. Economic infrastructure, we have a very strong example, like how in 1990s the diaspora has helped by providing us money, by providing investments and providing skill sets in the development of our IT industry. It's a very strong example of diaspora induced development in India. So there are so many other examples, like we have just now discussed, like greenfield projects, brownfield projects. So economic infrastructure development mein diaspora can play a very, very important role. Then apart from economic, it also comes, it can play a very important, and it is also playing a very important role in your social infrastructure development. These are the non-social infrastructure and political infrastructure development. These, we can say that these are the non-monetary social transfers, which are very, very important for the development of a country. Non-monetary social transfers. Non-monetary social transfers. So these are very, very important for the development of the country. When we talk about social infrastructure, we have seen that at the time of calamities, we have seen during Kerala flood, we have seen during COVID times also, we have seen during so many natural, like cyclones, so many natural calamities, the diaspora help has poured it into India. So they help in this. Then they also help, they are also associated with many of the NGOs, they are also associated with many of the organizations, civil societies, which are working at the grassroots level in the field of education, in the field of climate, in the field of your health, in the field of so many other things, women empowerment. So there are so many NGOs which are getting funded by your NRIs. There are so many civil society organizations which are getting a lot of support from the people, Indian diaspora people. We have examples of some of the NGOs, like Indiaspora is there. Indiaspora is there. Then Akansha Education Fund is there, which is supporting the underprivileged children in India. Akansha Education Fund, it is based in USA. Then Indiaspora is there. Then Seva International is there. So there are so many NGOs or civil society organizations where the diaspora is playing a lot of role in the development of your social infrastructure in the country. Then how they can help in development of political infrastructure. they can help in the development of political infrastructure, because when the people, when they come back and interact with the people at home, they are able to create awareness about transparency, they are able to create awareness about freedom of information, they are aware, they are able to create awareness about your various rights like child rights, women rights, human rights, है ना, how to they are also able to make people understand the value of voting, value of democracy. So they are able to promote these things when they come from outside. Supposedly someone is coming from Scandinavia and he or she is interacting with the native people in his or her village, so they will be sharing their experience of direct democracy, they will be sharing the experience of cleanliness, they will be sharing the their experience of voting for the right people. So this way they create a kind of a political, they help in creating a kind of a political infrastructure. Because when we say Atmanirbhar Bharat, or when we say self-reliant India, social infrastructure, political infrastructure, economic infrastructure, every kind of infrastructure has to be strong enough so that we become self-reliant. So here again, diaspora can play a very, very important role. Now, our system, which is technology driven, and the technology which is for catering to the demands of the 21st century. So when it comes to technology, diaspora can play a very, very important role. I am again using the same example of how the diaspora has helped in the development of our IT industry in 1990s. Transfer of technology has been there, skill sets they have shared with us. So this is like technology brain gain can be there. The people who have gone outside, they when they see that there are a lot of options, there are a lot of opportunity, some of them are willing to come back to India. So that is also brain gain is there. Then they can also help, like right now we are going for industry 4.0, and artificial AI based industries are there. So there are ample opportunities where the diaspora people can help us in technology transfers. And then also, as we have discussed initially, that they also help by lobbying. So they can also lobby for the transfer of green technologies, clean technologies, nuclear technologies and clean nuclear technologies to India. So टेक्नोलॉजी के सिस्टम में भी जो है, टेक्नोलॉजी के अरीना में भी जो है, डायस्पोरा कैन प्ले अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. एंड लास्ट ईयर ओनली इन 2020 देयर वाज अ डायस्पोरा समिट बाय द नेम वैभव. वैभव नाम की एक डायस्पोरा समिट हुई थी, जहाँ पे कि 70 कंट्रीज़ के different scientists and innovators, they have participated and they have submitted 80 projects to Government of India, which could be materialized, which are the various projects, the various innovative things that they have suggested, which could help India become self-reliant. So this is something where we have a vast pool of people who are having lot of experience in technology. We have seen that how Bangalore has helped the development of Silicon Valley. So technology transfer has been there from Bangalore to your Silicon Valley. So same could be reversed also. So here again we have lot of options, lot of opportunities where diaspora can play a very, very important role in the development of the latest technologies to make India self-reliant. Recently we have seen that how your UK based company is and your Serum Institute, they are working together for the development of the vaccines for the COVID. So Oxford Zeneca and Serum Institute of India. So there are lot many opportunities where we can see that the diaspora people can help India to become self-reliant, be it your health, be it your sanitation, be it your clean energy, be it your affordable energy, be it your affordable innovations, affordable medicine, affordable clean drinking water technologies. Diaspora people can be of great help. Then when we come to the fourth pillar, that is demographic dividend. So demographic dividend, diaspora or diasporic dividend can play a very important role in the development of demographic dividend in India. They can be help as a brain bank. Like we have talked about the term brain gain, brain drain is there, brain gain is there, then brain bank. They can act as brain bank, or another term used is your brain circulation. Whereby, what does it mean when we say brain bank or brain circulation? Some of the people who are having the vast experience working outside India, they might not be ready to come back to India, but yes, they are ready to share their experience, they are ready to share their skill sets with the people who are living in India. So that is brain bank. So their brain, their knowledge, their experience could be shared with the people who are there in India. So they can help in the development of our demographic dividend. They can help in skill training, they can share their experiences, है ना, उनकी training में, उनके education में, उनका social infrastructure, health में. This diaspora can play a very, very important role. And the last pillar of this Atmanirbhar Bharat is increase the demand. Now, when we say that increase the demand, how diaspora can play a role? Here again, diaspora can play a very, very important role. Because of them, many of the Indian goods like Indian handloom, Indian handicraft, Indian cuisines, Indian spices, they have become very, very popular across the globe. So, demand for the Indian goods that have increased many folds because the people have gone outside and they demand the Indian things. And उनको देख करके वहाँ के लोगों में भी Indian goods के लिए, Indian spices के लिए, Indian cuisine के लिए interest develop हो गया. That's why we have seen so many Indian restaurants, so many Indian handloom and textile shops are flourishing outside India also. People are in love with the Indian stuff. So that will create a demand, है ना? They can act as an ambassador for brand India, है ना? Brand India के लिए जो है हमारे every Indian outside India can be a brand ambassador for brand India. So that will increase the demand, that would increase our export demand. And at the same time, when we have seen that people now they are understanding the Indian values, they are understanding the Indian culture by living with the people of Indian origin. So that is generating a kind of a interest in them to come and visit India. So that will also give a boost to Indian tourism sector, Indian medical tourism, Indian tourism sector. India has a vast potential for tourism, and they through their culture, through the Indian culture and through the values that they are spreading, they are creating a demand in the eyes, of the people of the West to come and visit India. So that again, there is a lot of scope for creating demand, and they can act as the brand ambassadors of Indian brands. So these are some of the main pillars and how diaspora can play an important role in all these 5 pillars. This diasporic dividend has lots and lots of potential, and that is why we are seeing that we are focusing too much of diplomatic currency on your diaspora. we are engaging, we are trying to engage with the diaspora, we are trying to get connected with the diaspora, we are trying to make them understand that India is the destination where you can come back. You might have gone back because of any reasons, because of any compulsion or because of reason of choice, but now India is offering everything and you can come back to your motherland. So there's a lot of potential, but there is a big but. But is like, it is very easy to say that yes, we have lot of potential, है ना, बहुत ज़्यादा potential है, कहना आसान है, but ये कितना practical हो पाएगा, what role, up to what extent diaspora can play a role, that we have to see with the passage of time. Why I am appearing a little bit pessimist here is why I am saying that it's easier said than done, because there are certain challenges. It has a lot of potential, but these potentials are not without challenges. See, one thing is there, we have to very clearly understand that we are boasting that India is the country which is getting the highest remittances across the globe, है ना, global remittances का 13% जो है आपका remittances, it is coming to India. But when we talk about FDI, है ना, remittances we are topping, but when it comes to FDI, it is very, very low, है ना. Remittances, they are sending it to their friends, they are sending it to their families, they are putting money and buying properties for themselves. But when it comes to FDI, we are not doing that great. If we compare this with China, so in comparison to China, like from 1990s to 2000s, we have seen that FDI in China was somewhere around 50 to 70%. Why? Through this diaspora route, है ना, diaspora people जो FDI in China जो था आपका 50 to 70% was through your diaspora. And when we compare same for India during this period, India, it was somewhere around 3 to 5%. So why this is there? You know, we are talking, we are giving them opportunity, we are showing them the potential, but why it is not happening? Actually, there are the challenges, there are the loopholes, there are the problems. We are not investment friendly country. We have our bureaucratic hurdles. Our ease of doing business is not that good. Corruption is there. We do not have proper infrastructure. And one thing we have to keep in mind, that these are the people, the diaspora people, they have adopted another country. They are well settled there. They are not hunting for opportunities. They are not looking for opportunities in India only. They are well settled, they have money. Emotionally, they might be attached to India, but when it comes to business, business means business. They would be looking for value for the money. So when we are not able to give them the value for money, why would they invest in India? When it comes to investment generally is not driven by emotion. Emotional investments are very few. It's mainly driven by profit. So how will this come? They should be ensured that your investments will not go waste, and for that we have to have a very good infrastructure here. We have to have ease of doing business, we have to have law and order, we have to have stability here. So that thing is one thing that is a challenge. And apart from this, when we are saying that they can be ambassador for brand India, they can increase the export demands, then our export goods have to be very, very competitive. अगर हमारे गुड्स कॉम्पिटिटिव होंगे ही नहीं तो वो कितनी भी इसकी जो है दे कैन बी ब्रांड एम्बेसडर्स बट दैट विल नॉट सर्व द पर्पस. सो आवर गुड्स हैव टू बी वेरी कॉम्पिटिटिव, आवर इन्वेस्टमेंट opportunities, our investment environment has to be very, very conducive for the investors. And another thing that we need to understand is that many of them might want to come back. हो सकता है बहुत सारे लोग वापस आना चाहते हो, लेकिन वो वापस आना चाहते हैं तो उनके दिमाग में दो प्रश्न आते हैं, बिकॉज वी डू नॉट हैव अ डुअल सिटीजनशिप, बिकॉज दे completely do not want to they completely do not want to give up the citizenship of say Western countries or other countries where they are currently presently staying. So they are looking for dual citizenship. वो है नहीं, और उसको छोड़ के वो इंडिया नहीं आना चाहते, because इंडिया, जब वो इंडिया की बात करते हैं तो of course India is one of the fastest growing economies, third largest economy in the world, but yes, they are not willing to come back because the quality of life in India is not that good. You see the various parameters, happiness index we are down, hunger index we are down, environmental parameters we are very, very down, हमारा pollution का level इतना high है, clean drinking water की problem है, basic infrastructure in the remotest parts of the countries, remotest part of the country is not good. हमारे then of late we have seen that law and order problem has also been there. हम now sarcastically we are referred as the internet shutdown capital of the world. So these are some of the things which might deter the people to come back, है ना. अगर आप चाहते हो कि वो वापस आए, वो इन्वेस्ट करें, emotional attachment is one thing, but when it comes to pure business, they want the return for their money. So there should be a conducive environment, rules, regulations, corruptions, bureaucratic hurdles, everything should be in the right direction to promote investments. Only then they would invest, है ना. Otherwise तो अपने remittances भेजते रहेंगे अपने friends and families को, they are sending the remittances, or on and off they might be coming and visiting their friends and family, or they might be coming and then visiting various places in India. But when it comes to FDI, we have to improve ourselves so that we can attract them, है ना. सिर्फ बोलने से नहीं होगा, जब तक ग्राउंड रियलिटीज़ आपकी जो है इसके लिए सुटेबल नहीं होगी, कोई भी आना नहीं चाहेगा, इन्वेस्टमेंट लेके कोई नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज व्हेन इट कम्स टू इन्वेस्टमेंट इट मीन्स बिजनेस, बिजनेस मीन्स प्रॉफिट. एंड देन अनदर थिंग इज, it is not like China. India is a democracy. If they are investing in India, so as an investor, they have all the right to ask questions, and they are asking questions. If there is some kind of a problem in India, law and order की problem है, कहीं कोई communal दंगा हो रहा है, कहीं कोई right हो रहा है, कहीं पे कोई human right violation उनको लगता है, because media के through they come to know about the things. So if they think that some protest is happening, something, they will be asking questions, because ultimately it is their money which is going to be invested in India. If there is any kind of instability, if there is any kind of law and order disturbance, they would not invest, they would not wish to invest in the country. So they would be asking questions. So in that case, we have to be ready to answer to the queries raised by them. We cannot say that it is an internal affair of India, है ना, वो भी आपको देखना है, because this is a democracy. But there is a red line to be drawn, and that red line is very clear, that agar aapko as a diaspora, as a overseas citizen of India, if you have questions, you are welcome. But if you are asking these questions through your government, say the overseas citizens of India is pressurizing the US government, and US government is asking the question, then this is a internal matter of India. So diaspora is a double-edged sword. We have to be very careful, even they have to be very careful. If supposedly Kamala Harris, if she has some issue, she can ask the government of India as a overseas citizen of India. But if she is asking a question as a vice president of America, then she is interfering in our internal matters, and then we are not bound to answer to all the queries. So that kind of a fine line that has to be understood. So diaspora is a double-edged sword. It is both sides of the coin. So we have to be very careful if we are asking them to come and invest in India. When they are investing, so as an investor, they had certain demands. They have certain questions. So we have to be prepared to answer to those. And then अपने हमारे goods जब तक competitive नहीं होंगे, तो वो goods कैसे promote होंगे? How it is going to promote this? And apart from these things, there are some more challenges which are like environmental clearance के लेकर के issues हो जा रहे हैं इंडिया में, and then there is like basic sanitation की problem है. So people are they are happy to be emotionally engaged, but most of them do not want to come back. So quality of life improvement जब तक नहीं होगी, तब तक we cannot think that many people would like to come back, even though we are one of the fastest growing economies. So they would try to invest, but they would not try to come back. That brain gain might not happen, but yes, brain circulation or your brain bank might work. That too when the environment is very conducive. So these are some of the challenges that we have to see. And now the next question is, these are the challenges. So these are some of the challenges. So what is the government doing to overcome these challenges? Of course, government is putting a lot of interest. Government is showing a lot of interest in diaspora, and that is what we have seen, especially after Mr. Modi coming to power 2014 onwards. There have been lot of engagement with the diaspora. And if you see the government's policy with respect to diaspora is basically 3Cs. Now, what are these 3Cs policy that the government is pursuing? The 3Cs is your connect, celebrate, and contribute. So connect, government is trying to connect with each and every Indian abroad. That is connect, we are trying to develop various outreach programs. That's why we are engaging with the diaspora everywhere. And then we are also going to the countries which have not been given too much of impetus in the past. है ना, हम जगह जगह नई consulates खोल रहे हैं. छोटी से छोटी country को भी हमारे different ministers, be it your foreign minister, be it your president, be it your vice president, they are now going and visiting these countries to connect with the diaspora there. So we are trying to connect, we are trying to increase our outreach. Then celebrate. We are celebrating means we are celebrating that ethical bond. We are celebrating that eternal bond with, not ethical, eternal bond with the people. So this is, we are celebrating, we are meeting them, we are having various kind of programs where they can come, they can visit. We are having programs like Know India program, Connect India program is there. Then we are also providing them easy visa facilities are there. You can come and come to India hassle free. Then we are also providing them the various programs are providing them easy investment opportunities. Rules have been modified so that they can bring an investment into India. So we are trying to celebrate, we are trying to connect. Every year we are on 9th of January, we are celebrating Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. We have a separate division in the Ministry of External Affairs for the overseas Indian affairs. So there are so many initiatives of the government, and apart from that, we are also, government is always saying that we are just a tweet away from any Indian outside India, and that we have seen also. Like we are also standing with the people of Indian origin when they are facing problem. We are having we have conducted so many rescue operations, be it your Operation Rahat, Sankat Mochan, and the recent pandemic time we have seen our this Vande Bharat mission. So we are standing with the diaspora whenever they need. We have also seen that how India has stood by the people, the Indian origin people who were facing some problems of remuneration and because of the job loss in West Asia. So we have stood by them. We are also taking care of the domestic violence being faced by the Indians or Indians who are working abroad, and then domestic violence, then marital issues are there. Then so many issues we are now taking care of. Our consulates, our embassies, Ministry of External Affairs is very, very vigilant about the various problems that the people of Indian origin are facing outside India, and we are trying to solve them, we are trying to help them. So this is the way we are trying to celebrate, we are trying to connect and contribute. So contribute is, now we are having Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. I talked about that Vaibhav Summit was there. So we are trying to help, we are trying to ask them to contribute in whichever way, be it your remittances, be it your FDI, be it your as a brain bank, be it as a brain gain, in whichever manner they can contribute, we are asking them and we are providing them easy facilitation for contribution into various fields, be it a social sector, education sector, health sector, environment sector, infrastructure development sector, IT sector. We are asking them to help. That is why once our Prime Minister has said that FDI, while addressing the Pravasi Bharatiyas, he has said that FDI does not mean foreign direct investment, rather it means first development of India. So he is asking them to come and connect with India, celebrate with India, contribute for the development, for the growth of India, for India of the 21st century. So these are some of the things. Then apart from that, we have scholarship programs for NRI students, for diaspora students. We have Connect India policy. We have various different programs where we are giving them opportunities to connect with us, because many of the Indians are not knowing what exactly is happening in India. So we need to provide them that option. उनको दिखाएं कि भैया ये हो रहा है, and that is what we are trying to do through our various schemes and through our various programs. And apart from this, government is doing so much, but what more can be done? Because this has a huge potential, diaspora has a huge potential. So what more we could do so that they can play a very dominant role in making India self-reliant? Apart from what government is doing, what we can do is, right now we are focusing on only few countries. You know, main focus is only few countries, say for example USA, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, some of the European countries, that's it. But now we need to diversify. We need to diversify to other countries also where Indians are playing important role, like African countries. We need to connect with the Indian diaspora in Africa, because Africa is the future continent now. We have seen the Africa right from earlier it was called as a dark continent, but now it is called as a continent of hope. And surprisingly, Indians are also doing very good in these countries. We have so many examples like Uganda. Uganda mein there is only one billionaire, and that is of Indian origin. Madagascar, आधे rich people are of Indian origin. So in Africa also they are doing very good. Indians are doing very good, and they are having very important say in the political system there, which is very important for us in lobbying on some of the projects. So we need to diversify though we are doing it, but we have to give more impetus to that. And it's not only the countries where Indians are doing great, but also the countries where Indians are poor, like in Myanmar, like in Sri Lanka, like in Nepal. We also need to focus there also, because though they might not be economically very strong, but we cannot say that they are not the influencers. They are also the influencers. So that is also very, very important. So we need to diversify. Then then apart from that, what we can do is we need to acknowledge and harness the contribution of migrants in host and home country, है ना. उनका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है अपनी होस्ट कंट्री में जहाँ जिसको उन्होंने अडॉप्ट किया है, और अपनी होम कंट्री जिसको वो ओरिजिनली वो या उनके फोर फादर्स बिलोंग करते थे. सो वी नीड टू एक्नॉलेज एंड वी नीड टू हार्नेस द कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ दीज पीपल इन देयर होम एंड होस्ट countries or societies, so as to encourage more and more cross fertilization. Cross fertilization means, what I mean is like exchange of ideas, है ना. जितना उनको उनके कंट्रीब्यूशन होम एंड होस्ट कंट्री में जितना हम उसको आपस में जो है वी विल ट्राई टू ब्रिंग देम टुगेदर, दैट विल लीड टू मोर न्यूअर आइडियाज. More and more of cross fertilization would be there, which is new ideas are very, very important. Different divergent ideas are very important for making India self-reliant. And then we also need to harness new technologies to facilitate the exchange of information with diaspora, है ना. जैसे अभी हमने जो है recently what we have done is we have opened a new app is there, Rishta app is there, where we are trying, through this app we are trying to connect with the 3.12 crore Indian diaspora. Last year only this global Pravasi Rishta portal and app has been introduced. So we have to bring such kind of new innovative means, new innovative technologies, where we can connect with the maximum of these people, so that they come to know कि what exactly is happening in India. India में क्या opportunities हैं, India में क्या options हैं, how if they are interested to come back, because during the time of COVID we have seen that many of the people who were outside India, now they don't want to go back because उनको वहाँ बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स हुई. तो सम ऑफ द पीपल हु आर रियली इंटरेस्टेड टू कम बैक, उनको उनके साथ हमें कनेक्ट करना होगा. एंड देन ऑल्सो वी नीड टू कलेक्ट द स्टैटिस्टिक्स ऑन द स्किल्स of these people and try to map these statistics with our requirements, and then we can try to coordinate with them to help us in various fields. So there are so many things that the government is doing, and there are so many things that we need to do more, so that diaspora can be an important role in making new India. But in spite of all these efforts, in spite of all these new ideas, one thing, if we really want them to invest in India, then we have to make the environment investor friendly for them. We have to make our system investor friendly. Ease of doing business जो है वो हमें ठीक करना होगा, corruption हमारा ठीक करना होगा, red tapeism जो है उसको ठीक करना होगा. And if we want them, some of them, to come back and settle down in India, then quality of life in India has to be improved, be it your bijli, pani, be it your sadak, be it your pollution, be it your law and order, be it your crime against women, crime against elderly. Everything needs to be checked, everything needs to be improved. So this is all about like how Indian diaspora can play a role in making India self-reliant. No doubt this diasporic dividend has lots of potential. It has lots of currency which is going to help. The only thing is we need to understand how we can harness it, how we can use it. No doubt government is making lots of effort, and in the coming times we see that more and more people would be coming back to India. because India is providing lots of opportunities now, and more people would be, more and more diasporic people would be acting as a brain gainer, or they can be acting as a brain banks for the development of India. So this is all about how diaspora can play a role in the new India, that is a self-reliant India. Thank you.